Hi everybody. Today's lesson, I just want you to start off by thinking about what persuaded you to buy the last thing you bought. Was it word of mouth? Was it some sort of advertising or a review? You're also going to need to make sure that you've got some paper and a pen to make some notes based on this presentation. Okay, so today's lesson is going to focus on something called marketing, or the art of selling products. And throughout the presentation, I'm going to pause and give you time to answer some questions which are attached to the task and are here on this slide. Okay, so I want you guys to consider who is your target market. I want you to consider the strengths of interviews over questionnaires. I want you to try and write down what the 4 P's are. I want you to think of your product's unique selling points. I want you to think of a slogan, and I also want you to arrive at a price and a location for where you'd sell your product, and both of those need explaining. So like I said, there will be time where you can just pause the video and write these answers down. So the first thing that we need to establish is that design in the real world does not just happen by accident. Designers don't just create a product and hope that people will sell it. Okay, that is not product design. All product design is based around user needs. Okay, so this example here is obviously somebody's thought of this as thinking it's a clever idea, but there's actually no need for it. So it's a complete waste of time. In other words, if you spent lots and lots of money trying to produce this and manufacture it, there'd be no profit in it because nobody would buy it. There's absolutely no need for a product like this. So what design focuses on is designing for a specific user group. Okay, that's what design is all about, and that's precisely what you did in your first lesson on this project. You actually spent some time trying to decide exactly who you were going to try and sell your product to. Now, over the course of the project, you might have changed your mind, and that's absolutely fine. But the first question I want you to answer, okay, is I want you to describe to me who your target market is. Okay, who is the person or group of people that you are aiming your drink at? Okay, how did you get on? hopefully you were very specific about your target market in terms of who they are, the activity that they're doing, and whereabouts they're doing the activity. So once you've established your target market, you can then focus on extending that market, okay, by making more sales. And companies do this via the use of marketing. So the first part of marketing is to determine if there is a need for your actual product. And companies do this using market research. And the most popular forms of market research are consumer surveys, and this might be in the form of an interview or a questionnaire. An interview is a sort of face-to-face meeting where you actually talk back and forth with an individual or a small group. And a questionnaire is more of a quick answer, quick question sort of scenario where you sort of tick boxes and you try and send this out to as many people as possible, or you sort of stop and ask people quite quickly. So interviews are very good because they give you in-depth information, okay? However, it is quite narrow. You're only going to be able to sort of speak to a few people in depth. Questionnaires, on the other hand, get to lots of people, but the information that you get from them is quite shallow, okay? But all of these things are designed to find out what people need, what they want, what they think about existing products and services. So question 2 for you to try is, can you talk about the strengths of each of these two methods, interviews and questionnaires? What are their strengths and weaknesses? Go. Okay, moving on from that. Once you're absolutely sure there is a market for your product based on that market research, then that's when you decide to design and make your product. Okay, so you do your investigation, you find out the needs and wants of your target market, then you pump all that into research and development and design and making the product. Okay, there is no point sinking hundreds of thousands of pounds into product development if you have no idea if the product is going to sell. Okay, but then what comes after you've designed and made the product? Okay, part 2 of marketing is all about selling it to your target market, and to do that you need something called a marketing strategy, okay, which is basically a plan of attack for how you're going to sell it to your target market. So a successful marketing strategy makes use of something called the marketing mix. Now these are the basic components of a marketing plan, okay, and they're often referred to as the 4 P's. That's price, place, promotion and product. Okay, so the 4 P's there. So what I'd like you to do now, question 3, okay, is to note what the 4 P's are by copying this diagram. Okay, I'm going to speed this up a bit because I don't think it'll take you that long to actually copy this diagram. Okay, so let's look at each of these in turn. So the first P that we're going to look at is your product itself. What you need to do at the start is focus on its USPs. Those are its unique selling points. That might be its best features. Okay, so for example, this product has got a readout for temperature, it keeps track of how much you're drinking, it's attractive, it's easy to carry, it's easy to drink from. All of those are its unique selling points. So what I'd like you to do now is try and list your idea, your product's unique selling points. Good luck. Okay, hopefully you've got a nice detailed list of unique selling points. It doesn't have to be amazingly long, but it does need to show off your product's best features, because that's going to help you with the next task now, which is trying to think of a slogan. Okay, now a slogan is often used by companies to draw attention to your product. Okay, they not only catch the eye of your target market, but they also catch the eye of people on the outskirts of your target market. So basically it attracts people towards your product, and very often slogans build on the USPs. Okay, so you need to sort of find one amongst there that you can latch onto and use as your slogan. So there's a couple here that you're probably familiar with. So Just Do It is from Nike. Good things come to those who wait was a popular slogan done by one of my favorite drinks. That was Guinness. And of course the last one, everybody knows this one, I'm loving it, is from McDonald's. So for question number 5, can you think of a slogan that you could use to help sell your product? Okay, so this is something besides your logo. Okay, imagine something else that could go with your logo to help promote your product, some sort of slogan that would go with your drink. Good luck. Hey everyone, how'd you do? I bet you came up with some really good slogans, okay, and it's going to be quite difficult to try and choose your favorite one. Okay, so moving on. I'm going back to that marketing mix, those 4 P's. So now we're going to look at the second P of your marketing strategy, and that's price. Okay, so this is basically you thinking about how much you are going to sell your product for. Now, the price that you land on obviously depends upon a number of things. First of all, do you think there's going to be a high demand for your product? If so, you can kind of dictate the price. You've also got to think about how much is it going to cost to make it. If yours is just a plain bottle that's made out of one material, that's going to be cheaper than someone else that's doing one that's made out of a couple of different materials with a built-in temperature sensor, etc. Okay, so you need to factor in the costs of how much it's going to make it. Beyond your control are certain government taxes. Okay, so luckily water is healthy, so isn't going to be sort of open to any sort of extra taxation from the government like sugary drinks are at the moment. And last of all, you need to think about your competition. Okay, so how much is everyone else in the class deciding to sell their product at, and you need to be able to pitch yours accordingly. So question 6 is, how much would you sell your product for, and can you explain clearly why you've set it at that price? Good luck, off you go. Okay, how did you get on with that? Hopefully you picked a price that wasn't too ridiculously expensive, but also not so cheap that you're actually going to make a loss. So, moving on to the third P, that's place. In other words, you need to think now about where your product is actually going to be available for sale. So, is it going to be something that's available just in like local corner shops, okay, small shops? Is it going to be something that you can only buy at specific locations, for example, a fridge at a gym perhaps? Is it going to be supermarket based? And if so, which supermarket do you think suits your target market? Is it going to be something upmarket and posh like Waitrose, or is it going to be something a bit more budget friendly and local like Aldi? Or is your product only going to be available online? Is it going to be something that people have to sign up for and order from your website? So question 7, where would you people buy your product, and you need to explain clearly why you would sell it in that particular place. Good luck. Okay, well done. Hopefully you've named a specific place and you've justified your answer clearly. So, the last P in the marketing strategy is promotion. Okay, so we've looked at the product, we've looked at the price it's going to sell for, we've looked at the place it's going to be sold in. The final P, promotion, is all to do with essentially how will people know that it's for sale in that place. So there are various ways that you can encourage people to buy your product. Some products use short-term promotions, buy one get one, buy a football get a free bottle. So you could have some sort of initial I suppose event. It could be at a gym that if people sign up for it, they get 12 bottles of this this product that you're selling. Okay. Another thing that you'd see are sort of exhibitions, trade fairs. So these are events that take place in large venues and they're aimed at selling to sort of wholesalers. So you'd get representatives of the supermarkets like Waitrose, Sainsbury's, Aldi. They would be going around these shows selecting what they want to be stocking on their shelves. So you might have to set up some sort of stand with example products, an advert, literature, etc. that you could use to try and catch the eye of these people as they go past, so they will hopefully sort of place a huge order for your product. And then last of all, obviously, are the publicity campaigns that everybody else goes to see, and that comes under advertising. Now, advertising itself is a huge area, so we're going to look at that separately next lesson. Okay, so well done today. If you could please take a photo of the notes that you've been making, okay, all your answers to those questions, and upload them to Firefly, that'd be great. Okay, and the next lesson we'll see you for advertising. Thank you. Goodbye.